Hello folks, welcome to another episode of Motor India's Combating COVID Crisis series. As you are aware, we at Motor India have been sharing regular news and updates related to the COVID-19 pandemic. And today, we will discuss on the steps to ensure successful revitalization of industry and economy in India. To discuss the same, I have with me Mr. Sanjay Srivastava, Business Head, Mahindra World City, Jaipur, and Director, Origins. He oversees the Mahindra Group's integrated cities and industrial clusters businesses in India. It comprises of several industrial destinations that are home to 159 global and Indian companies. Welcome, Mr. Srivastava.
Hi, Rajesh. Good afternoon and a big welcome to all your viewers.
Thank you so much for joining Motor India Trans Report in such a short notice. It is a pleasure to have you here.
Thank you.
Mr. Srivastava, many in India believe that we are currently in an advantageous position with strong potential to emerge as a preferred alternative in terms of manufacturing destinations compared to China, which is, we will be supporting the industries through world-class industrial ecosystems that have, demonstrated resilience and speed while successfully unlocking the industry and economy. So the broad question here is that comes to my mind is how can the Indian industrial ecosystem stay ahead of the curve and remain globally competitive? And what has worked so far that the Indian companies and the industries can leverage through our inherent strengths? What do you think can be the secret to successful unlocking?
Sure. That's a great question, which is, as you know, is a hot topic across all of our minds. So maybe if it is important for us to know the context in which we are having this discussion, and everyone is aware of the multifarious ramifications of the COVID pandemic. But if you look from an industry's perspective, the biggest thing which has happened is that the supply chains have got disrupted and the end reach of the market has got disrupted. So there are two very distinct things which are working at play. So as we speak to the global players as well as large Indian players, and in fact the MSME segment as well, we see there are 2 or 3 key long-term trends. And from there we have to pick it up. The first and foremost, earlier there was a huge pressure on efficiency and cost reduction. And therefore there have been a huge amount of over concentration of production supply chain. Now with the disruption, it is important that companies are realizing that a distributed supply chain, though there is an incremental cost, but it is seen as an insurance cost. So hence a distributed supply chain, even with a higher thing, is almost like an insurance. It will ensure the best in class companies, the essential goods companies who survived the pandemic and still are doing well are the ones who had proactively invested. So hence there will be a distribution in that supply chain.
Okay.
The second important thing from where India stands to benefit, they are very clearly, one is of course there's a large domestic market. But the other thing is India has already been developing a lot of competencies in things like manufacturing components, in software services, which can get translated into technology for the new world. The third, there are already significant scale of industries which are there. It can then be created a platform for future growth. So then I come to the next most important thing, that what do companies look for? And that's where you alluded to the industrial ecosystem. All the companies are looking for where can they be helped with the ease of doing business. And while the governments work at a policy or at a incentive reforms, players like Mahindra World City and other of the stature ensure that there is an ease of doing business in setting up your new businesses, in ramping up, and as we learned in COVID, also to restart. So if there is an integrated ecosystem. It ensures a ease of doing business. It ensures a faster time to market, and it ensures efficiency. So that's how we are seeing the requirement.
Correct, correct. Could you also highlight upon some of your key observations that helped the ease of operation? Are there some pointers that you would want to list down which made it easy for these companies to restart their operations or even continue their operations during the lockdown at Mahindra World City?
Absolutely. In fact, that is a great question. And the most important aspect is the first and foremost an end-to-end planning. When you are looking for a restart or a essential services start, you cannot just take a constructed view. And that is again where ecosystem players like Mahindra World City and Origins come in, that we ensure there is a three-tier approach. There is a platform which is ensuring the safety and security process and procedures which are applicable across all of the companies and the common area. There is a second set of process planning, which is what will happen at the plant or manufacturing within a particular company. And the third is ultimately this will be done by people. So what is the appropriate planning for goods and service? So the first aspect is the planning. The second aspect is a very clear-cut communication of what are the processes and how will the execution plan will work. Correct. And therein, important aspect is there should be a very good degree of collaboration. So while there is collaboration between industries and ecosystem players, but the third and the most important aspect are the government and the policy stakeholders and the decision makers. Correct. So since we have a view of so many industries who were already working, the Mahindra World City team also worked very proactively with the national policy makers as well as with the state governments to give them suggestions to ensure the restart is as smooth as possible.
Got it.
And the third important wheel is a very dynamic monitoring of the situation and very good fine tuning. So as the first set of companies went operational, there were operational glitches, they were very quickly fixed and they were done. So those are the three key things which works.
Wonderful. So in fact, if I understood it correct, you have emphasized on collaboration, planning, and communication. Okay, and in these three aspects, now are you in a position to share details about the companies that went operational during this lockdown period right from March? Do you have a list of companies that adopted the changes and still went with the business, although with say less amount of workers at the shop floor, or adopting automation? Would you be sharing some examples that you have on your mind, both from Jaipur and Chennai?
Sure, absolutely. We can actually share to you an hour by hour plan because that's what we were doing. Yeah, but what we broadly, as we look at, we aligned our processes with when the lockdown happened and with the various phases. So right at the restart at both if you see the overall space, space, the complete spectrum, we have the Mahindra World Cities, Jaipur and Chennai, where out of about 150 plus companies, about 120 are already operational. We have companies which are already under construction at Origins, Chennai, and there's a lot of other construction work happening in Origins, Ahmedabad. So out of these 120 odd companies in the first phase, the government allowed certain categories of ITITS, essential goods and services, essential equipment, and food and supply companies. So in the first phase, all of them who fell in that category and were ready and willingness, because some of them also took a conscious call, they may not want to start it. So we enabled that. In the second phase, as the industrial areas in certain lockdown areas were allowed, the second, that is where we brought in an advantage, because many of both our world cities are not located right in the heart of urban infrastructure, and therefore the government allowed the opening in second phase for Mahindra World City Jaipur and in third phase for Mahindra World City Chennai, because as you know, the urban centers are the hotspot, and it was not possible. So therefore that is so then again all the companies which were there, because our standard operating procedures were fixed, every single company who was ready was informed of the process, was informed of the approvals required, was enabled for getting the necessary approvals, and each one of them went operational from in restart in actually under a week. In fact, more than half of them who were restarting in 72 hours. So as we speak, out of 120 companies which were operational, now 70% of the companies have already gone live. And as you mentioned very rightly, Rajesh, that right now it is at partial capacity. But I think the other thing we need to keep in mind is we have a combination of manufacturing and services. So while a large part of manufacturing is happening at a reduced capacity, the actual economic output is from these companies is happening much more, because the ITS companies, there is a greater population which is still working effectively from work from home. So therefore, when to every new prospect we say we could get at any given time 70% of the companies who are eligible and ready get operational in under a week, I think that's a true value proposition, and India can really be setting that template.
Sure. Really nice. So with the insights and with the observations and learnings that you had with the experience during all the 4 phases of lockdown, have you noted down or kind of listed some of the key advantages that you would be offering to the new companies that you keen to host at Mahindra World City? And do you have some pointers that would attract new companies that are coming from China, relocating to India? How would these companies look at Mahindra World City and their offerings? Few words on that.
Sure. So in fact, we see this as a continuous process. I think the pandemic and as well as the need for diversification, how we see it is, it will change the trajectory. It will further accelerate, because we have been doing that for almost 2 decades. So if you see currently where we are, as I mentioned, 150 plus companies, 20 plus countries are represented besides India, 5 continents. So with that as the kind of spread, what we see is the first and foremost things, the reason why companies have been transitioning is they are looking for a integrated ecosystem where they don't want to get into other tertiary operational issues. So the first and foremost advantage is there should be someone who takes care of everything except what has to happen within the office or within the factory. So that world-class plug-and-play infrastructure, that's very important. The second learning, which has held us in good stead and is being valued, that India is now going to compete with China as well as any other countries for new incremental investment. Hence, our quality of infrastructure and the services have to be world-class. We just can't say we are better than tier 2 or a tier 3 infrastructure in India. We are competing with the best, so we need to be there.
Sure.
The third thing which companies have realized, while operational companies realize the value of the process and support, but the other thing which companies are looking for is there an ecosystem which takes care of all the services which are required for them to go operational. So how we see that Mahindra World City, these days everyone talks of a platform. Platform is the buzzword. We see that we are the platform for the industrial ecosystem, where we bring in the infrastructure, we bring in the ancillary services, we bring in professional operations and maintenance, and we also bring in the skill development capabilities all at one go. So if we are the platform, that's where the companies come, they establish, and they start. So that is the value proposition which companies are looking for.
Correct. Very nicely explained, Mr. Srivastava. I would now want to club in, couple of questions in one, and ask you one broad question as we close in this interview.
Sure.
What do you think, given the current situation, you correctly mentioned about the opportunities that has emerged out of this crisis? As a company, as a part of Mahindra World City, what is your outlook for current and next financial year, and what is your medium to long term plan?
Sure. I wish all of us are looking for that magical looking glass. But I understand where you are coming in from. So I think in the short term, a smooth start and the phase restart is giving the confidence. So now on a going forward basis, the next big thing is, how does the demand generation start? That demand generation will take a bit of time. We need to be cognizant. Yeah. The second important aspect for building the short to medium term thing is, many of the countries or even cities within countries may have certain lockdown. So therefore, as there is a ease of a cross-border movement within national and international, that is the second enabler which will work.
Okay.
The third thing, despite all this, what will accelerate is the government of India, along with working with our various other policymakers, whether it is Invest India and Niti Aayog, have started identifying the key advantages on which we should play. You can win the game if you play to your strength. And I think the top 5 or 6 sectors which have already been identified, as I talked of manufacturing and manufacturing component, we have vaccine. We are the global leader. Can we take it into a healthcare and medical devices? We have lots of soft power in ITES. Can we convert it into electronics? We have already seen that happening for mobile. We can broaden it to electronics. We can actually see a good quality and a value consumption goods, because another important aspect is the end B2B and B2C clients requirement is also changing. So therefore, if everyone will be making changes in the product, so if therefore we are standing at the same frame, I think these are the 3 things which we will consider. I will say it is a cautious start. The opportunities are there. We have to be at it, and we have to collaborate together to ensure this happens. And most importantly, create short wins and use existing success examples to build credibility. So hopefully that gives you a perspective of what future holds for us.
Very nicely summed up, Mr. Srivastava. Thank you so much for your time. It was really wonderful interacting with you, and hope I have covered all the points. If you have anything specific that I have missed upon, you may add, please, as a parting or closing remarks from your side.
Thanks, Rajesh. I think in closing remarks, I will just say that all of us together, we have seen it is an unprecedented situation. So therefore, there are no straight answers which are available. But I think humanity has seen many such situations and beyond. So if all of us really collaborate and focus on how we will create a better future, that goes right from something very simple, how do I ensure physical and emotional safety and security, to actually having a world-class process and continued focus. At the same time, have a very dynamic dashboard to see what is going right and what is not, so that we are able to adapt, do a nimble execution. If you are able to combine that, then I think success. That's what I would like to conclude with. I am an optimist, and I am very clear that this is once in a lifetime opportunity for India to claim its possession. Ideally, in the next long term, you asked what does it look like. In the long term, I want India to be the hub of the world, combining the technology and the R&D capability of the West with the vibrant and young markets of the Asia. So that's what I would want to.
Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you so much, folks, for joining on Motor India's Combating COVID Crisis series. Here we had Mr. Srivastava sharing his major insights and learning from the phased disruptions of operations at Mahindra World City. I will see you again in our series and videos on combating COVID crisis. Stay tuned and keep coming back. Thank you.